Hey, Sandals Church men. This week, Pastor Matt talked about the Reformer on the Enneagram, the number one. And if that's you, man, I hope that you found some grace and just can release some of the pressure to be perfect. But when I'm listening to the messages, I'm also looking for things that apply specifically to us as men. And I love how Pastor Matt talked about the story of the prodigal son, which he talked about really being a story of two sons. And how the point of the story is the love of the father for both sons, those who were self-righteous and wayward. And man, I thought it was so appropriate as he just talked about God's affectionate love toward us, how he pursues us, desires us. And I think that's really important for us to find the love of the Father, especially as men. You know, whether you had a great dad or not, we talk about that a lot, but it has such an impact on your life. And if you ignore that, you will really miss out on what God's trying to do in your life. He wants to restore your heart. Your heart is easily wounded as a man, even though we think we're tough. We have tough exterior, but our heart is still soft. And we need to know that the Father loves us, that we're valuable, that he sees us as a man, that he believes in us, that he loves us and has plans for us. And those things are so, so important. And one of the things Matt said as he was talking about that was, if you want to change the trajectory of your family, learn the love of your good Father. And man, I thought that was so powerful. If you're married or you have kids especially, or just for yourself, if you can learn the love of the Father, you can display that kind of love to your wife, kids, to your friends, roommates, whoever's in your life. And that's such a powerful gift. A lot of our friction in life, a lot of our bad decision making is due to us not knowing we're loved. We're grasping for something that is outside of us. We're trying to prove ourselves in some way. And in doing so, we're really self-destructing. We're destroying our own lives. And I've just talked to so many men who are constantly pointing the finger at other people, but unwilling to look at themselves and their need for a loving father. And, you know, even the best earthly fathers get it wrong constantly. And so I hope that you were able to hear that part. If not, go back and listen to it. I think it's about 10 minutes into the message, and he talks for several minutes about that. And it's so important in our lives. So just kind of back to Enneagram stuff. If you happen to be married to a reformer, as I am, I think it's really important to remember that even though they may kind of come at you a lot because they have a lot of things that they want to see done a certain way, it's not always personal. It's their own headspace that is full of things that they want to see, that they think are right, that they should do. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. As much pressure as you may feel from them, they have way more on themselves. And so as I've been married for 18 years now to a one, I'm learning to have grace for Becca and where she's at, what she's processing, and also showing her grace and offering her grace. If she messes up, and be like, yeah, that's okay. You get it right most of the time. You know, just to hopefully experience freedom and peace within the marriage. And I want to offer the same to you if you're a reformer, to receive that. Like, you don't have to get it right every time. Whatever internal pressure you're putting on yourself is not from God. He wants you to be righteous in Christ, meaning you receive your righteousness from Christ and you respond to him, not out of obligation or duty, but out of joy and freedom. So I hope that's impactful for you. Man, if you're not in a group and you're watching this video, I want to encourage you that that's the best way to get connected, whether that's a community group or a men's group. That's how we live life together. It's how we live out the vision. It's how we reflect back and get feedback on who we are as we go through this series of self-discovery. And then last thing I want to remind you, we have a men's breakfast coming up Saturday, October 9th. We're going to do it at every campus. So connect with your campus and meet the men there, have some fun, eat good food, and we're going to do a service project. So we're going to, each campus is going to determine what that looks like, but it'll either be on site at the campus or nearby in the community. And we just want to serve alongside each other as men. God's called us to do good and to serve our community, to be those who go first and lead. And so it's an opportunity to do that. You can find out more at move.sc/men's breakfast. You can sign up for your breakfast at your campus. So excited for that. Excited for what God's doing in our church and for this series. I hope that you are staying connected to the men of our church so that we can grow, encourage, and become the men God's called us to be. Love you guys. Peace.